Hi boys and girls, this is lesson 18 problem set. We're going to do several problems together and then tomorrow you're going to do some of the homework problems. We're not going to do a lot of problems, but we will use these problems in the future for review and more practice if I see that you're not understanding the concept on your homework problems. So we're going to do 1D, 1G, and then numbers 2 and 4 together. It says solve the subtraction problems below. It doesn't say that you have to use the standard algorithm, but you can if you want to. That's how I'm going to show you because that is our ultimate goal. Now remember, when we are subtracting numbers, we need to go place value by place value and ask ourselves if we need to regroup or ungroup anything, really. We're ungrouping. So for example, letter D, we're going to rewrite the problem first of all, and I'm going to make sure that my columns are neatly aligned for the place values. Because if you would have that 2 in 21 written under the 5, you're not going to get the right answer because the 2 in 21 represents tens. I'm going to write down my label, my unit right away so that I don't forget that. And I'm going to start in my ones and ask myself, remember we're subtracting. If I have 8, can I take 1 away? I can, and I get 7. I move to my tens. If I have 1 10, can I take 2 tens away from that? I cannot. So I have to ungroup one of my hundreds, which means I now have 4 hundreds, and I'm going to add that 10 tens, that 100, into my tens. So I still have the 1, okay? I still have the 110, but now I've added 10 tens, which is 100. So now I can do 11 tens minus 2 tens equals 9 tens. 4 tens minus, if there's nothing there, it's 0, equals 400. So my answer is 497 centimeters. Let's do letter G together. 307 grams minus 130 grams. I'm going to bring my unit down right away so that I don't forget. This is exactly what your work should look like on the problem set and when you do your homework on your own. I'm going to start in my ones. 7, take away 0 ones. I'm still left with 7 ones. If I have 0 tens, remember subtraction, you have to start with the top number. 0 tens, take away 3 tens. If I have 0 tens, can I take 3 away? I can't. So I need to ungroup one of my hundreds and move it over. So now I don't have 0 tens, I have 10 tens. 10 tens minus 3 tens is 7 tens. 200 minus 100 is 100. Let's do one more together, just for fun. This will also tell me if you really watched the video or not. We're going to do 307 grams minus 234 grams. Again, I'm going to bring down my unit right away. I'm going to start in my ones, and I want you to start saying these things to yourselves, boys and girls. You can't do math if you don't talk to yourself. 7 minus 4 is 3. Can I do, if I have 0 tens, can I take 3 tens away from that? I cannot. And I can't just decide to do 3 take away 0 tens. That doesn't work. So I have to ungroup one of my hundreds, move it over to my tens. Now I have 10 tens because I brought 100 over. 10 tens take away 3 tens is 7 tens. And 200 minus 200 is 0. We do not need to put the 0 in there as a placeholder. So my answer is 73 grams. Now, if you're going to try any of these down here, let's say you try letter J. What you need to do is rewrite it just like this. 2 kilometers plus 770 meters minus 1 kilometer and 455 meters. I'm going to bring my units down right away, and I'm going to start in my ones way over here and work my way over. So 0, take away 5, can't do it. I have to ungroup a 10, bring it over to my ones. 10 minus 5 is 5. 6 tens minus 5 tens is 1 10. 700 minus 400 is 300. And 2 kilometers minus 1 kilometer is 1 kilometer. So that's how you would do that one if you'd like to try some more. Let's go on to number 2. Read with me. The total weight of 3 books is shown to the right. Right over here is our picture. 405 grams is how much 3 books weighs. If 2 books weigh 233 grams, how much does the 3rd book weigh? Use a tape diagram to model the problem. Notice we're using a tape diagram to model the problem, not solve it. It's going to help us to solve it, but it's not going to give us the answer. So let's use this as our visual. So 2 of the books weigh 233 grams. The total weight of all 3 books is 405 grams. So we do not know what this 3rd book weighs. That is how we model the problem with the tape diagram. So we know the total of all 3 books. So we are going to do 405 grams minus the weight of 2 of the books to get the weight of the 3rd book. So now I can bring down my unit. 5 minus 3 is 2. 0 tens minus 3 tens. I can't do that. So I'm going to ungroup 100, bring it over to my tens, and now 10 tens minus 3 tens is 7 tens. 300 minus 200 is 100. So the weight of the 3rd book is 172 grams. And I'm going to write out grams because it's the last word in the sentence. You could also say the 3rd book weighs 172 grams. That's okay too. Let's go on to number 4. We're going to do number 4 together. This is sort of a 2-step problem. Read with me. The total length of a rope is 208 centimeters. Scott cuts it into 3 pieces. The first piece is 80 centimeters long. The second piece is 94 centimeters long. How long is the 3rd piece of rope? This does not say that you need to use a tape diagram to model the problem, but I'm going to because it helps me visualize the problem and put the pieces where they belong. So I'm going to draw a tape diagram. I know that we have 3 pieces of rope, so I'm going to divide my tape diagram into 3 pieces. It tells me that the first piece is 80 centimeters. It tells me the second piece is 94 centimeters. It's asking me how long the 3rd piece is. I do not know that. I do, however, know the total of all 3, which is 208 centimeters. In order to solve this problem, I first need to know the total of the 2 pieces so that I can subtract that from the total. So I'm going to do 80 plus 94, And since I've learned some mental math strategies, I know that 80 plus 90 is 170, and there's a 0 here in the ones and a 4 here, so it's 174 centimeters for the 2 pieces of rope. Now I can subtract that amount from the total, which is 208 centimeters. Again, I'm going to bring down my unit right away so that I don't forget. And now I'm ready to subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. 0 tens take away 7 tens is impossible for me to do. So I'm going to ungroup 100, bring it to my tens place. So now I have 10 tens minus 7 tens, which is 3 tens. 100 minus 100 is 0. I don't have to put that placeholder in, but if it helps you, you can. So I have my answer, 34 centimeters. I'm going to write my sentence. The third rope is 34 centimeters long. And there's my answer. Good work, boys and girls.